Alright everybody, so after seeing a lot of people online reviewing the solo stove and my wife and kids complaining when we have fire pits about too much smoke being in their face, and I have this new patio that we just got made out back, I decided to pull the plug, the trigger, and pick up one of these solo stoves. I was very iffy because of the price tag, but after seeing a bunch of YouTube reviews, I decided to give it a try. So here we are, we're gonna unbox it. It's in the 50s here in Northeast. So it was a little cooler earlier, it's a little warmer now, but it's nice outside, it stopped raining, so I figured let's get this thing fired up and see how it performs. So here we go, the solo stove Bonfire. Alright. Little styrofoam. Plastic bag. Little kit, instructions, how to use your Bonfire. Step 1, remove the nested flame ring and set it aside. Flame ring, set it aside. Using logs that are 16 inches or shorter, stack your logs tightly inside the Bonfire along with any kindling of your choice. It also comes with a cover in here, so I'm going to take that and put it to the side. I'll put that back on it afterwards. There's plenty of other videos of people showing you putting the cover on. Right here. So take a look at what it looks like on the inside. There's a stainless steel, everything's stainless steel. There's a grate in here for airflow. There's these rings that let the air come out from underneath and get that secondary burn that's supposed to occur around the top. There's the rings from the underside. You can see these go all the way through there. It's kind of hard to see when it doesn't focus. And there's this stainless steel ring here that you're supposed to put on, like so. Let me flip it over and put it on. So let's see the instructions here. Step number 2, right here. Using logs that are 16 inches or shorter, stack your logs tightly inside the Bonfire along with any kindling. I am not using kindling. What I'm going to use is this wax starter that I use when I barbecue to get my charcoal started. So I'm going to place that in the middle, and then I'm going to stack some wood around it. You know what I'm going to do? So what I'm going to do is put that starter cube in there. I'm going to stack a few pieces across. I'm going to light this. And it's a little windy out, but this thing is completely encased, so I'm I would not expect the wind to affect us too much. And we're just gonna create a little teepee type fire here and see how it gets going. Alright, so we're going to see how long this takes to get going. It's a little smoky right now because it's just getting started. So I'm going to let this go. I'll check back in. I'll let you know how long it takes. Alright, checking back in here. Solo Bonfire review. It's been exactly 6 minutes since I lit this thing up. And it's going pretty good here. All I did was put a wax starter cube in that I use for barbecuing, and 3 small logs and 2 good sized logs, and it's kicking. I haven't had to play with it at all. I haven't had to add a newspaper. It seems to be doing pretty well. Still smoking a little bit. I think it's just going to continue until it gets up to temperature. It's not terrible. I think the whole thing with the smoke is they probably want you to, they said to use 16-inch logs or smaller, and my one log on the top there is more like 20 inches, so it's burning above the height of the Solo stove itself, which is probably why I'm getting a little bit of smoke, but it's not terrible. It's still temp to temp. I'm gonna give it 5 more minutes and check back in, and we'll take a look to see if there's any of those, that secondary burn fire coming out of those holes on the top. Seems so far so good. Alright, final review about the pit. It's been 30 minutes since I lit the fire initially. I've since added 3 more logs. You can see that it's starting to get these rings of fire that kind of shoot out of those holes around the top. You can see it kind of shoot across the top there. Looks like there's like a jet shooting out of those holes. Yeah, it's pretty cool. What do I think of it? I think, for me, liking different cool gadgets, toys and stuff, I think it's awesome. My wife definitely came out and sat by it for 5 minutes and thought it was definitely less smoky than a normal fire pit. She didn't really notice anything other than that. I will say that it's a lot less smoky. It is not smokeless. There's still plenty of smoke, especially when the wind blows. It kind of comes up toward you and blows around wherever the wind is blowing. If it's not windy out, I would say it's probably going to just send it straight up in the air. The smoke, that little ring there and that second burn, it seems like it does do a lot to burn the extra stuff, whatever is making it up above that extra level. So I would say it's cool. Is it worth the amount of money that they charge you? I'll leave that for you to decide. For me, I think it is. I think we're going to use this a lot because I think the kids and my wife are going to enjoy it now a lot more, that there's a lot less smoke being blown around. I like that it's not going to leave marks on my concrete, so when I'm completely done, I'll check in on that, and if there's anything to show, I'll add it to the end of the video. If not, I'm just assuming that there's not going to be anything to show because it's not quite, it's hot, but it's not ridiculously hot, and there's no openings on the bottom of the pit for the ash to go to the ground, so I'm not going to expect to really see anything there. I can actually push this now. Let's see what happens. You know what? That's going to leave marks on it. I'm not going to do that. So overall, I like it. I think it's cool. I think it solves a lot of the smoke issue. It gets really hot, and it's very easy to start a fire. So check it out. Hey, what do you think?
Well, where did you get that from?
Is that cool?
Where did you get it from?
I ordered it. Do you think it's cool? You don't know? there goes my kid checking out the new fire pit. Until next time, peace out. I'll give it a thumbs up. Solo stove, check it out. If not, just get a regular fire pit and deal with the smoke. Peace. Alright, check it in one more time here. This is the burn down result after about 50 minutes. So you can see everything is burnt down to coals. It's very hot. Put my hand over here, I can like barely hold it there. Woo! Very hot. So I'm gonna add a couple pieces of wood. This is actually wet wood because I'm just curious to see what it's gonna do. I'm gonna add 3 pieces of this wet wood that has bark on it. I'm just gonna see what happens here. Give it some time, check back in. 5-minute check. There's the 3 logs I added that were soaking wet. I am upgrading my review status. I wasn't really that blown away in the beginning, and now I feel like this thing's awesome. The fact that I added 3 pieces of very wet wood. It's been raining all week. I started off with wood that I've had in my stock in my dry spot, and now I just added those 3 that were outside of my wood pile. And you can see my wood pile over here. That area on the right there, it was just raining on that all week. I grabbed the top 3 pieces just to see how they would react. And granted, this is a fire that's been burning for an hour, but there is like no smoke. Normally if I put them in a fire pit, the whole thing would be blown smoke all over the place. This thing is just eating them up and really has a really clean burn. So I think this thing's awesome. So if you have the money and you're somebody who has a lot of fires or goes camping a lot, I would highly recommend buying this thing. This thing rocks. Peace.